Maxwell was born at a time when wealth did not sit in banks or balance sheets. Wealth grazed in open fields, bleated in the mornings, and filled granaries after harvest. His father, Mzee Kilonzo, owned vast herds of cattle and goats, and his farms stretched far enough to feed not only his household, but neighbors during harsh seasons. In those days, a man's stature was measured by the size of his herd and the number of wives he had, and Mzee Kilonzo had both. Education, however, was a foreign idea to him. He could not read or write, yet he possessed wisdom shaped by land, weather, and survival. He married many wives and fathered many children, believing the children were a man's legacy and strength. Maxwell grew up surrounded by siblings, so many that sometimes he lost count, running barefoot between huts, chasing goats, and sleeping to the sound of cows lowing in the distance. Food was abundant, hunger was rare, but money, actual cash, was scarce. The irony of their wealth was cruel. Almost everyone in the region farmed and reared animals, so selling livestock or crops brought little return. There was low demand and prices were painfully low. When school fees were due, Mzee Kilonzo would sell an animal reluctantly, often at a loss. Sometimes he borrowed, sometimes he delayed payment, but he never gave up. "I may not be learned," he often said, "but my children will be." True to his word, Maxwell and his brothers went to school. It was not easy, walking long distances, sharing textbooks, sometimes being sent home for fees, but they persisted. Education felt like a narrow bridge out of a wide, crowded life. After finishing high school, Maxwell's life changed in a way few could have predicted. The government, facing a shortage of skilled workers, began employing high school graduates. In those days, education had not yet been fully embraced, and even completing secondary school set one apart. Maxwell and his brother William were among the lucky few. They secured government jobs at the same time, in the same department, at the same entry level. On their first day, dressed in borrowed jackets and worn shoes polished to shine, they walked into the office together, pride swelling in their chests. They were proof that their father's sacrifices had meaning. The job came with stability, something Maxwell had never known, a steady salary, respect in the village, the ability to help younger siblings through school. It felt like a rival. But William saw it differently. Both brothers enrolled in college while working, attending evening and weekend classes. The balance was exhausting, but William thrived. He talked about the future constantly, about degrees, promotions, leadership. Maxwell listened, but deep inside he felt something else: contentment. After his first promotion, Maxwell slowed down. The new title, the slight salary increase, and the comfort of routine made him feel settled. He completed basic accounts training and stopped there. "I'm okay," he told William. "I have a job, I can provide. Why chase more?" William nodded, but he did not stop. He saw the winds changing. As years passed, the country transformed. Education expanded. Government sponsorships sent young people to universities. Degree holders flooded the job market. Offices that once celebrated high school certificates now demanded diplomas, degrees, and postgraduate qualifications. Maxwell watched the change like a man standing on a platform as the train sped past him. Younger colleagues joined the department, sharp, confident, qualified. Soon, some of them became his supervisors. It was a bitter pill. He obeyed instructions from people young enough to be his children, not because he lacked experience, but because he lacked the papers. William, on the other hand, rose steadily. His qualifications matched the evolving requirements. Promotions followed. Training opportunities opened up, some even abroad. His career flourished. With growth came difference. William built a comfortable life for his family. His children attended good private schools with libraries, computers, and exposure to opportunities Maxwell's children had only heard about. Holidays were planned, conversations at family gatherings subtly shifted.
Maxwell's children attended ordinary government schools. The classrooms were crowded, resources stretched thin, but they were bright, curious, determined. Maxwell ensured they never lacked encouragement, even if he could not offer much more. And then came the twist life loves to deliver. Despite all odds, Maxwell's children excelled. They topped classes, won scholarships, found mentors who saw their potential beyond the limitations of their environment. They fought harder because the path was steeper. William's children did well too, but Maxwell's children carried a quiet hunger that sharpened their ambition. Years passed. The boys and girls grew into adults. Careers took shape. Some of Maxwell's children ventured into fields their father never imagined: technology, engineering, entrepreneurship. They stood tall, not because the road was smooth, but because they learned early how to navigate rough terrain. One evening, sitting outside his house as the sun dipped low, Maxwell reflected. He was proud, deeply proud, but he also wondered. What if he had gone further? What if he had studied when William did? What if he had positioned himself better when the world was shifting? He realized then that contentment is dangerous when it blinds you to change. His children had succeeded, but they had fought battles he could have softened. Opportunities, connections, and exposure might have come easier if he had prepared differently. The world had moved, and he had paused too long. William sat beside him that evening. "We both did our best," William said gently. Maxwell nodded. "Yes, but next time the world changes, I hope those who come after us will move with it." And that became the lesson Maxwell passed on. Not regret, but wisdom. Because life is not just about where you start or how much you have. It's about recognizing when seasons change and being brave enough to change with them. Contentment is good. Growth is better. Provision is necessary. Preparation is powerful. Maxwell's story became an eye-opener whispered in homes and offices alike. Pay attention to how the world is moving, or risk being left standing, watching opportunities pass by.
If you love real-life stories like this, hit subscribe, like, comment, and let's keep walking through these journeys together.